What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're back with another Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares. Today we're going to the Priory.
Hello, Muppets!
I had a lot of fun watching this episode. This episode has drama.
I'm so fucking annoyed.
It has sex appeal. This episode's really got it all. What more could you ask for?
The Priory's a 100-seater restaurant in an old convent, and it's full of bad habits.
But for this episode, Gordon Ramsay visits a church restaurant that's filled with old people. And they also have like these coupons that gives them like half-off meals. Apparently they're stoners too. We open up with this lady just talking about all the big joints she loves.
At home, you know, you never have a big joint, and it's really lovely to have something, a really nice big joint.
I don't know, lady. I have a lot of big joints at home. But for real though, I don't think you actually want to be eating the joints here. What we see later, they look pretty gross. I wouldn't recommend eating those.
So right now you've got a meat mountain, yeah?
The owner of this place though is former IT consultant Scott Hassan. He bought the Priory 6 weeks ago for 300 grand. And 6 weeks ago is 6 weeks ago when this aired, obviously not now. But almost immediately he started losing 5,000 pounds a week. Can you imagine buying a big ass fucking church and turn it into a restaurant and then you're like, oh cool, I'm losing 5,000 pounds a week. Fuck me.
Really wanted to be a restaurateur, I guess.
Motherfucker, you guess? I think you gotta know before you start putting this kind of money into this place. You bought a whole fucking church and turned that into a restaurant. And he's like, yeah, I guess I want to be in the restaurant business, sure.
Bangers are swearing.
So you're telling me you're not going to swear this entire episode, Gordon? I find that highly unlikely. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure like 30 seconds after this, he says, fuck me. Cut to a clip of that. Fuck me clip.
Fuck me.
It's hard to hear because of all the organs going, but I swear to God, he says, fuck me.
Fuck me.
Gordon meets Scott, the owner, and I thought they were going to sit down for a bite to eat together, but Gordon just meets him and then sits down and eats alone, so I guess Scott has things to do. But Gordon Ramsay does notice when he's sitting in there that he's the youngest person in here by a mile.
I'm the youngest here by miles.
And then Gordon's surprised that they're serving a carvery here, which I had to look up what a carvery was because I've never heard that before until this point. It is pretty self-explanatory though. It's literally just meat they carve out for you, and that's like how they do it. It's like a very old style, but that's kind of their thing here, which I guess maybe the old people they relate, kind of makes them feel back at home. Gordon Ramsay does say too, the last time he had a carvery was in the 1970s at Burney Inn.
And it was fucking ghastly.
And it was fucking ghastly. The way he said that fucking killed me.
And it was fucking ghastly.
But this is where Gordon Ramsay notices that all the old people coming in here are using these vouchers to get 50% off their meals.
Am I the only one here without a voucher?
And then he goes around to every single table asking all the old people if they came here with their vouchers. And they're like, yeah, of course.
Yes, I did, yep, two. Yes, that's what we get.
Oh boy, we meet Toby, the fucking head chef here. And immediately he gives an example of how he is this whole episode. He just walks into the kitchen and fucking drops his spoon.
Carvery.
Oh, my faith went way down the hill immediately after getting his introduction.
As you say, never trust a skinny chef, do you?
Also never trust a chef named Toby. I learned that this episode. And then we have Bob. He's the part-time carvery chef, and he looks like a chef in every movie you've ever seen. He just looks like a stereotypical like Disney chef, but he kind of seems cool too. Although Gordon Ramsay starts to discuss the carvery dishes with him, and as they're just showing all the dishes there, they're just playing horror music as they're going through it. And then poor Gordon, he ends up making a plate of a little bit of everything. I can imagine how that's gonna taste.
And all that for a fiver.
That is wild. They are cooking so much food that these people are paying $5 for. Insane.
Just enjoy it, Gordon.
And then of course Gordon tries a little nibble of everything and he just doesn't like any of it.
And all of that today so far has been shit.
That's pretty funny, but that's a bummer. A little bit later, though, Gordon goes into the kitchen to meet the rest of the staff, and it's so fucking awkward. There's so much of this episode where they're just having conversations with each other, and it's so awkward.
I generally do the general cooking of the veg and general...
Right.
And then, of course, he has to ram into them about how shitty their food is.
Let's be honest. You can't call yourself a chef if you serve that shit.
Oof. He would fucking make me cry if Gordon Ramsay... I could never cook in front of Gordon Ramsay. I mean, like, on one side, I would like him to insult me. That'd be fun. But I know he would hurt my feelings.
It was dry, it was hideous, it was overcooked, and it tasted of nothing.
And then for the packed room tonight, Gordon gets to see how Toby struggles with the carvery because they have to do that twice a day, and he can barely even do that.
How can professional chefs struggle to get a simple carvery out twice a day? What the fuck is he doing?
But it does kind of make sense once Gordon Ramsay gets into their fridge and sees they have a bunch of half-eaten joints. These are the joints that lady was talking about.
What are we going to do with that? Feel that.
It's rock hard.
I think you're not being very honest with me now, you know that?
And then Toby also kind of gets caught in a lie here, where there's a bunch of food that was cooked and then wrapped up still warm and put into the fridge, which if you don't know, that's a horrible fucking idea.
Still carries on bacteria and all the rest of it.
That's right, so it cools down and stays hot inside, cools down the outside and festers.
And then Gordon's like, you take all that and you serve it to people?
Not very often, no, but some of the time, yes, we do.
And then Gordon starts looking into what looks like a mop bucket, and Toby tells him that it's broccoli soup. Or like, you know, it's the early stages of him making broccoli soup. But I don't know why he's doing it in a mop bucket.
That's broccoli soup.
No, it's not broccoli soup. It needs to thicken up.
Can you imagine ordering broccoli soup and then you watch the show and you're like, that was festering in your mop bucket? Come on. And then Gordon tells Toby,
You are a lazy fucker, you know that?
I've never met such a gormless head chef.
Gormless is my new favorite insult. That's fucking great. And then needless to say, the rest of the food is just as bad as everything else we've seen.
It's like King Kong's fucking condom. Personally, I've never quite seen anything of that fucking bad.
And then after all that, Gordon goes into the kitchen and just starts laying into Scott, being like, how the fuck can you let this place get like this? Half-eaten fucking joints and broccoli in a mop bucket, all these dirty things here or there. And he's just going to town on... that's not how I meant that.
Right now, it's worse than hospital food.
And then lastly, Gordon tells him that he wants to see his team tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. and he wants to see some huge changes in this place, otherwise they're not going forward. And then now it's the second day, and Gordon, seeing what he saw yesterday, decides to go into the kitchen early before everybody else gets there.
Jesus Christ. What is that? Bloody hell.
Oh, and then of course he grabs the shit and starts smelling it. He always has to fucking do that.
The smell.
And then he goes through a whole bunch of other shit. Some of it he has no idea what it is.
What is that? What's that for?
And then after his raid, he says the only thing he can do is condemn this kitchen and basically get rid of everything and completely restart.
Dirty, fucking lazy pigs.
Okay, Gordon, you might have went a little overboard with the caution tape.
Carvery. My fucking ass. I'm covering my ass.
What?
I'm covering my ass.
And then after that, Gordon grabs the kitchen crew, drags them upstairs, and for some reason says he's gonna lick their balls.
But it won't be as half as painful as the bollocking I'm about to give them.
Why is that gonna be painful? I feel like that'd be a good time.
Who threw all the veg in there like that last night?
No, but actually, he's yelling at them. He's not licking their balls. But he continues to yell at them, and then he mentions that even some of the food has mold on it, too.
Fucking cauliflower that's got mold in it.
Toby ends up saying that they're all kind of responsible and that he just can't raise his hand and be like, it was me, I did all of it. And then Gordon has, like, the weirdest response to him.
That's not good enough, Toby. You better get your fucking fat head outside your ass and start understanding what the fuck is going on here.
I don't know what you meant there, Gordon. I mean, maybe I'm just as stupid as Toby, but I have no fucking clue what he's talking about there.
Scott, I'm not your voice.
And then Gordon starts yelling at Scott now, telling him he needs to get control of this place and that Gordon Ramsay isn't his voice. He can't just sit back and let Gordon Ramsay yell at everybody. He needs to take charge.
I'm not here to blow smoke up your ass. This is your responsibility.
And then he's basically just like, yeah, you know, I've told these guys this before, but they don't listen.
Scott, you have to get real.
And it's like, you're the fucking boss, dude. What do you mean?
I'm so fucking annoyed. This is disgusting.
You could tell Gordon Ramsay's over this. The kitchen's gross. Everyone here's just a bitch. He's had enough.
Can't understand why you guys left it like a shithole.
And then Matt, the manager slash chef, comes up and he brings up to all of them that I can't believe you guys would leave the kitchen in this state knowing Gordon Ramsay's gonna be here in the morning. Like, you guys are fucking idiots.
Knowing that Gordon was coming back this morning, that wrecks my head even more than anything.
And then everybody, of course, just sits there silently. No one says a fucking word.
I'm getting some fresh air because I feel sick.
A little bit later now, though, Gordon has a meeting with Scott.
Yeah, I'm very worried because it's my livelihood on the line. It's my career. It's my family.
Well, fuck. When you put it like that, it makes it really scary, Gordon being here. Basically, though, what I got from their meeting is Scott thinks he's failing just because of his lack of knowledge of the business, and Gordon's like, it's that and you're too much of a pussy to take charge, kind of. And they're just kind of beefing with that.
Thanks for coming up to work. Yeah, I'm fucking paying you.
I pray Scott's sins will be forgiven.
What the fuck is Scott doing? What are his sins? I get you're in a church, but that made it sound like Scott has a bad history. And then this part was really fucking strange. Gordon does a confessional with everybody where they sit side by side and start talking about the restaurant.
The Carvery's fucked and the Priory's in the shit. Why haven't you tried to do anything about it?
Because I've just got in a rut.
It also gets really sad here because a lot of them are just kind of saying they're in a rut and no one just has any inspiration to work here. Even the manager says he's unmotivated and it's hard for him to motivate people.
I'm probably demotivated and deflated myself.
Honestly, this place sounds really miserable. And then finally, after complaining about the whole episode, Gordon Ramsay makes them get rid of the Carvery and they're changing this place to a grill.
And out with the old, in with the new.
Out with the old, in with the new. Now they'll just have local produce and just cook things like normal instead of just like carving it and shit.
Nothing more than that.
And then Gordon takes them on a little field trip and says, see all these cows? That's what we should be eating here. I mean, that's not an exact quote, but that's pretty close.
Ditch the carvery and turn that restaurant into a grill.
He does end up making them all do a little test, though, where they have to point out on the cow where all the meat comes from, and most of them got all of it wrong.
These guys are more denser than Mensa.
You could say that again.
These guys are more denser than Mensa.
And then now back in the kitchen, Gordon has actually replaced everything. He says he put 6,000 pounds of impressive new grill kits in there, with a brand new chipper as well. And then of course, Scott starts getting a little pissy about the carvery being gone. He's like, it's been a staple here for 20 years. It's been our cash cow, even though they're losing 5,000 pounds a week. He says it's a fucking cash cow.
You're losing $5 grand a week. Yeah. There's no cash cow.
And then Gordon ends up getting frustrated again and walks out.
It's shit. Scott. See you later.
I can't believe Scott. He's such a fucking slippery eel.
That's what I'm always saying about Scott. I'm glad someone else can see it now.
Change or die.
Jesus Christ, Gordon, that's a little extreme, don't you think? You change, or we fucking kill every last one of you and we take over your church. How about that?
Change or die.
Yeah, so maybe just change, huh? But the next morning, Gordon does meet with Scott, and now he's a little more on board with the idea. He's still a little worried about it, but he's at least a little more on board.
Really excited today. Massive opportunity to move on.
Also tonight, people are actually going to have to pay for their meals, so hopefully that doesn't piss off all the old people.
These chefs aren't the sharpest knives in the drawer.
It's so fucking funny how much Gordon just calls these chefs fucking idiots the whole episode. And then because of the fact that Gordon knows how stupid these guys are, he made the dishes tonight very easy for them to prepare, that they could just make these and turn out a shit ton.
Don't take this the wrong way, but it's idiot-proof.
Well, that's kind of hard not to take the wrong way. Hey, you're fucking stupid, but don't take that the wrong way.
How can we fuck that up?
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'll keep telling myself that.
And then some guests start to arrive, even the Bishop of Sussex, and Gordon Ramsay brings him into the kitchen and has him bless the food. Which, honestly, I think he put a fucking curse on this place, because everything goes completely downhill after this.
Thank you for the gift of food.
You know, though, I think everything will go great as long as Bob doesn't ruin the dressing on the first dish.
I can't believe it.
Bobby.
Bob screwed up the dressing on the first dish.
God damn it, Bob.
I honestly didn't realise steak and chips could be so fucking difficult.
And then Toby, for fuck's sake, he keeps putting chicken on the grill, and then he'll walk away and do something else and be like, oh, fuck, I didn't season it.
Again, fucking season them.
And he comes back and the chicken's already fucked. He's just ruining everything.
Never season them again. Oh, fuck's sake.
These guys are screwing up so much. We're 2 hours into service and no one's gotten any food.
And 2 hours into service, tables are still waiting for their food.
Even the bishop's complaining a little bit.
We're not unhappy.
Yeah, but I bet you'd be a lot happier with a belly full of food.
I don't fucking know. I'm going down very fast. I haven't got a fucking clue.
And then Toby ends up getting stressed out. He takes a 3-minute break and now Gordon takes over as the chef.
This guy clearly isn't a head chef.
And if you're wondering, did everything get better when Gordon Ramsay took over?
Hello, Muppets! Oh.
Not really. Unfortunately, not at all.
Scott's getting it in the neck from the customers.
Gross. And then after Scott gets yelled at by some customers, he goes into the kitchen and tells them that he has 30 people that aren't going to pay for their meals now.
30 people out there who do not want to pay for their dinner.
But the night is over now. Gordon goes into the kitchen and tells them that it was a fucking disaster. And then he tells Toby,
mate, you're not capable of running a fucking bar.
You know, which kind of makes Toby sound like he stinks, so that's gross. Basically, though, Toby's lost his spunk, and it doesn't seem like he's gonna get it back.
Where's your spunk and fucking pizzazz?
Yeah, come on, Toby, where's your fucking pizzazz? Gordon now wants Matt, though, to be more in charge because Toby fucking sucks.
Restart.
And then to try to spread the good word about this place and to show what new food they're gonna make now, they go out onto the streets and start giving out steaks and things like that to people.
Anyone heard of the Priory?
So it's round 2 tonight. Fingers crossed that things go a lot better than it did the night before. And then also tonight, people are about half the age they were the night before, too. But before they get started, though, Gordon goes into the kitchen to give them a little pep talk, and he says the weirdest fucking shit to Toby again.
Yeah, I'm watching you like a fucking hawk, yeah? I'm gonna be a fucking CCTV camera up your arsehole.
What? Gordon, you have a way with words, dude. There is a kind of cute moment, though, before they get started, where Gordon has all of them, like, shout a bunch of words, like, different phrases to kind of get them in a shouty mood so they can communicate better in the kitchen.
One more.
Show me the grill!
One more.
Show me the grill!
I like that. That was a really sweet moment.
Too smooth to move!
And then, like, 30 seconds into the night, you could already tell Matt is so much better at this than Toby was. He's communicating better. Things are actually going out. I mean, maybe the food's a little burnt, but the food is going out. The good thing about Matt is he could be a manager and he can actually cook. So that's a big plus. But Toby over here, he can't even cook his fucking salmon. He's burning that shit. He's way overcooking it. And then he's disrespecting Matt on top of it.
Yeah. Well, I've just fucked the salmon, haven't I?
Hey, big boy, that's no way to talk to the fucking general manager. Where's your respect?
They're doing a lot better than the first night, like I said, but a lady is complaining about her salmon being overcooked, which probably came from Toby.
Was it way overcooked?
Yeah. Although I will say, a couple minutes later, Gordon interviews people about their food, and she's like, I had the salmon. It was pretty good.
Salmon?
Salmon.
It's very nice.
So clearly she wasn't that mad about her fucking salmon.
You know, clearly the concept of a grill works.
Yeah, no shit, Scott. This isn't the first grill ever. Wow, you know what? People liked grilled food. Who'd have thought?
If you weren't in the kitchen tonight, nothing would have come out.
And then Gordon gives Matt his flowers, tells him, do not give up on this place, because if you give up, this place is fucked. They won't go anywhere.
Don't let go of that strength, I swear to God.
But it is time for Gordon Ramsay to leave and come back about a month later.
I'm dying to find out who's going to be the fucking head chef.
And then when Gordon Ramsay gets back, he's talking to Matt in the kitchen and finds out that Toby is gone. He's fired.
Toby, where is he? Day off?
Toby's gone.
Toby's gone.
There was some argument with them where Toby was like, I didn't do it, and Matt was like, yeah, and whatever, but Toby's fired. That's all that matters.
Toby was sacked for preparing chicken that was off. He disputes this, but left anyway.
Oof. And then Matt does tell Gordon, though, that they're still not doing enough business. In fact, they're doing less business than when Gordon Ramsay first got here.
So from 700, you lost 500 covers.
And then on top of that, 1 day a week, they're doing the carvery again.
We've gone back to Carvery on the weekend.
Carvery's back.
And then Gordon also gets really angry with Scott because he finds out while he was gone, they've done no marketing whatsoever. The carvery's back. They're doing less business. They're really sucking.
The carvery's back, and the business is failing.
And then because of that, Gordon ends up calling an emergency meeting with all the staff.
Seriously trying to help you do this, Scott.
And you've got to loosen up and embrace your staff.
And then after their meeting, they got through Scott a little bit, and they decided to go back out on the street and sell the food. And then Gordon makes Scott take off his tie so he's a little more casual.
So we can show you a real good time.
And then just after a couple hours of walking the streets, they're nearly booked for tonight, showing Scott how fucking easy this is if you just put some effort into it.
Spreading the good word on the streets has paid off.
And then Scott even says he learned a lesson from this about how much marketing can help a restaurant, which he is so just like, it really bugged me how much Scott used his like inexperience as a crutch for this. He used it all the time.
And do me one more favour.
Yeah.
Undo another button.
See? There's that sex appeal I was telling you about. Oh, fuck. Now it's time for an update. In 2008, they lowered prices because of customers' requests, and they went fully back to the carvery. And then shortly after all that, they closed. La Capilla took its place, and then they also closed in 2010, and then put the building up for sale in 2012. And then it took some time. They actually tried to get the church turned into apartment buildings. That got rejected, and then a little bit later got approved, and then they got 43 apartments created in the space. And that was the Priory. It used to be a fun restaurant church. Now it's a home for 43 people. Crazy world we live in. That was really fun though. Like I said, I really enjoyed that episode. It was very awkward in parts. Whenever Gordon Ramsay would yell at the kitchen staff and people like that, they were so awkward. But for the most part, I really dug the episode. This episode was recommended in the comments, so if you have an episode you'd like to see me do, also comment that down below and we'll see if that gets picked. But yeah, I had a great time watching this episode. I hope you guys did as well. Thanks for taking time out of your day to hear me yap about Gordon Ramsay, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace out, Girl Scouts.
I'm so fucking annoyed.